Hello everyone and welcome back to GPC week 3. So I'm a bit rushed for time because I was sick this week and I also have an exam coming up, so I had a busy week, but managed to do the battle on time, and the match will also be on time, but we are recording late, so we will go over the teams a bit quickly and then the match also quite quickly. So you can see here the teams that were brought. He brought the Heatran, Slowbro, Salamence, Clefable, Manectric and Mega Scissor. So basically his biggest threats. He left on the bench his Among Us, Skuntank, Exploud, and the last one was Rhydon. So Rhydon could be a bit scary, maybe a dual dance variant some sort, but I didn't really saw it coming. The same was for Skuntank and Among Us. They also didn't have the best matchups compared to D6. Exploud could have come, but most of my team outspeeds it regardless. So Heatran I most likely expect or a Scar variant, a Z Solar Beam variant, or just C Sunny Day, because it then gets the speed and is able to fire off Solar Beams. Slowbro could be just a defensive Slowbro. Salamence, either Scarf or Dragon Dance. Dragon Dance can be really scary for my team. Clefable is just an annoyance in general. Manectric is fairly great against my team because what do I have for electric types? I have the Decidueye, which I left on the bench. He can just overheat and HP Ice for Garchomp, and Mega Scissor can also be offensive late game, pretty big of a threat. So team I brought, you can see here, I left on the bench Porygon Z. He had a Scissor and Scissor plus Heatran combination that just wasn't right for Porygon Z. I felt the Decidueye also just didn't have the right speed there. His offense beat it pretty much and could switch into it pretty nicely. And the last one I left on the bench was Excelcor. Spike Staking, I didn't see it really that great of a strat versus him, because my other ones just performed a little bit better, and offensively Excelcor didn't also have the matchup. So I brought a Mega Heracross variant. This Mega Heracross is fairly bulky Mega Heracross, a lot of HP, some speed def, also able to with substitute, able to sub up on most notably Among Us. He didn't brought, but could potentially sub up, predicting switch, because if I sub it's like the safe play, because I can predict the switch with something like Rock Blast on Rock Blasting on a Slowbro. But if he goes in hard into his Heatran, that's not great. But if I sub up on that switch, and then I can close combat next turn. So all in all, I thought sub was nice, and I didn't really need Bullet Seed that much against his team. So I just Rock Blast, Pin Missile and close combat. Then Metagross first had an offensive variant, but DD Salamence was too big of a threat, so I brought a Sugar Berry variant, which can quite easily deal with the DD Salamence, and it has just some coverage options. I don't really remember what, but just some coverage option to hit his team quite nicely. Meteor Mash, Earthquake, Ice Punch, something along those lines. Then Garchomp has rocks this week, because I needed the coverage more on Metagross, and I could avoid rocks on Garchomp, so rocks on Garchomp. Swords Dance variant with Earthquake and Dragon Claw. Earthquake hits almost his whole team. He has some bulky things like Clefable, like Slowbro, but I thought if I could Swords Dance up, then the Z move Earthquake, because I'm Ground Z, just OHKO those things, so that could be nice. Azumarill also had a hard time for this set. I wanted it to be able to deal with Heatran, but Z Sunny Day was a bit of a problem, so I went with a set that is max HP, a little bit of speed def, can take a Solar Beam from Heatran, and still is Splash Blade, so Waterfall inaccurate kills it, or at least brings it in range of rocks. So if rocks are up, it can kill it. And just has Ice Punch and Knockoff to be able to hit Slowbro and things like Salamence. Thunderous is more of a bulky Thunderous with Thunder Wave, just if Heatran or Salamence become a problem, if Salamence is not Lumberry, of course. And then it just has some nice coverage like Focus Blast, Thunderbolt and Incinerate, because it's mainly there for Scissor. It also has a leftovers, it can quite well deal with an offensive SD Scissor. Drapion is like Assault Vest, just more of a general pivot, and has great coverage for his team with Dual Stab, Earthquake and Fire Fang. So that's the team, let's go into the battle. So he decided to lead off with Slowbro as I lead with Garchomp. I thought I could get up rocks first turn. I thought I had a fairly decent lead against most of his mons, except Slowbro and Manectric. He leads Slowbro, a bit unfortunate, so I have to switch out. I go hard into my Heracross, because I expect the Ice Beam, and I thought Heracross has the most offensive pressure right off the bat. I thought the rest he could have potentially have some switch-ins too, so I go out into Heracross, also seeing that besides Slowbro, I'm not switching in Heracross fairly easily on his team, so I go out into Heracross. He goes for Ice Beam, I take it quite easily. I go for the substitute this turn, he goes out into Clefable. So here, depending on his Clefable set, 2 Rock Blast may take it out, 2 Rock Blast may not take him out. Also all depends on the set. So I go for the Rock Blast. As you can see here, I crit the first hit, and as you can see, due to that crit, this could be a 2-hit kill. It is a bit of a roll, especially because he has leftovers and he has Wish Protect. After the match, he revealed to me that he was more of a mixed defensive Clefable, could take some hits of Thunderous, could take 2 Rock Blasts from a Heracross. So here he goes back to full with Wish Protect, and here he wishes up again, which is quite logically. And after that, I think he as you can see, so I bring him down again, 49%, 55. So then depending on if I get 1 crit, I can kill him. And as you can see here on the last hit, I get that crit and I take him out, and I'm still behind. So this is really fortunately for me. But with all those Rock Blast rolls, yeah, one of them will be a crit. Like the things like that happen, it's a really unfortunate for him, because I'm still behind sub and I can still do a lot of damage. If he had just throw off the Wish the first time, then immediately went for a Moonblast, he could at least break this up, and he could even get rid of me eventually with his Clefable low in the end. But yeah, who knows. I can also still stake a Moonblast from this range. So here he goes out into his Mega Scissor, knowing that I can most likely one-shot his whole entire team except the Mega Scissor, and Mega Scissor is the most expendable in his eyes. So he goes for the Bullet Punch, breaks my stop, and I go for Close Combat, seeing that he is quite an offensive variant. I just expect him to outspeed me. I don't have a lot of speed, and just U-turn out on me. Or he could have the Aerial Ace. Could definitely be a nice tech on his part. So I definitely want to scout that. So I thought my best play isn't Thunderous. He just went for a Bullet Punch. I don't know if it would have taken me out. I was at -1 defense, and it could definitely have. Here I think I fired just off a Focus Blast. I fired over a Focus Blast. Why? And this covers Manectric and Heatran coming in. If I go for a Thunder move and Manectric comes in, I'm in a big problem, so I risked the Focus Blast. Luckily I hit and I killed off the Mega Scissor. So we're up 6-4 right off the bat due to Mega Heracross putting in a lot of work. He goes out into his Heatran thinking, yeah, I think immediately, okay, he's most likely Scarf would be Fire Blast, Overheat could come my way. Just make the safe play into Azumarill. It's there for the Heatran. He missed a Fire Blast, a bit unfortunate, but yeah, as Azumarill has not taken any damage prior, this will not play much of a role. So I just go for knockoff. I think, okay, this hits like his whole team quite nicely. It's nice to get rid of an item on all his mons. So I go for knockoff, see that this is a really defensive Slowbro. Here I go again out into Heracross. Would not do much this game except switch into this Slowbro. I go for the substitute, try to catch him again, but he goes for Tri-Chick. It was a nice play. I contemplated going for Pimus right off the bat, but if he switched out and I Pin Missed like his Heatran or his Salamence, would not be ideal for me. And yeah, Mega Heracross was not really needed anymore, so sub was like for me a good play. So here I do the same. I expect him this time to switch out, and I go for the substitute. And he goes out into his Heatran. He goes for the Hidden Power, which was obviously HPIs for my Garchomp. Normally HPIs would definitely break a sub from Mega Heracross, and I get why he went for it, because if he went for Fire Blast and he missed on this Heracross, that would be really unfortunate. But because I have a lot of bulk, I take the Hidden Power without it breaking my sub, and I'm able to kill this Heatran off. So Mega Heracross putting in a lot of work for my team already. He goes into Manectric, and I could have expected this Volt Switch and like predicted maybe his Salamence to come in and go for Rock Blast. Maybe that was my best play. In hindsight, I think Rock Blast might potentially just be my best play, but I thought, let's just get off some safe damage. Slowbro, I still outspeed, so that's not a problem. I thought, let's go for Close Combat. I can miss the other move, so I went for the safe play of Close Combat, and seeing I'm up 6-3, I thought, let's not take a lot of risk. So he goes indeed out into his Slowbro. So here I know, okay, I can just go for the Pin Missile this turn. Yeah, I kind of expected him to pull the double into Salamence, but if he like stays in and I Rock Blast, I rock blast the slow bro. I do like 30ish% at most, and with regen health he will still be quite healthy. And any damage on Salamence is nice damage, and if he stays in, I get another kill. I don't really need Mega Heracross, as I already said, so I didn't felt I needed to predict this switch. Could have been nice, definitely, but I thought I didn't need to. So I just go for the safe pin missile. Here I just stay in. He's in range of Rock Blast. If he decided to make a ballsy play and Dragon Dance up, I can scare him out. Here I go Garchomp, because if he's Scarf locked into Earthquake. So Garchomp is a safe overall play. And if not, I just outspeed him. But at the same time I thought, okay, but if he's really ballsy and he just Dragon Dances right in my face, because he's quite in the back, he has to make some big plays. If he does that, I could be in trouble. If because he showed Intimidate, but still I thought it was not really great for me to let him get a free DD up in my face, so I just went for a safe Dragon Claw. Here, okay, he goes slow bro. I just go for my rocks, thinking, okay, Garchomp, Manectric outspeeds me, Slowbro kinda walls me, and Salamence either outspeeds me or yeah, I can't revenge a Dragon Dance variant. So I thought, okay, Garchomp, just get a rocks, pressures Salamence, pressures also the life of Manectric, because I have nothing that outspeeds life of Manectric except Thunders, but I have to hit a Focus Blast, and still Focus Blast only does 60 to 70%, and Aqua Jet from Azumarill does also around 50%, so I have to get the Manectric in that range, and then I can pretty much go from there. And also the Slowbro, I need Thunders for Slowbro. So here I thought, okay, don't really need Garchomp that much, can still deal with Salamence, but not DD, so let me just go for an SD. So he slacks off here. I thought he would definitely go for like Ice Beam or Scald, but here I go for an SD, knowing that I can live an Ice Beam from full, and he goes for Scald, expecting me to switch. Fair enough. Luckily he doesn't get the burn, and here I know if he stays in, if he doesn't make a gold play into Salamence, I get a kill with the Tonic Rage. He doesn't expect it, and I just kill him off, which is quite nicely. Here he goes Manectric, and I'm thinking, okay, he's still quite in the back, like 2 to 5. Maybe, just maybe, he will go for the momentum play here and doesn't and won't go for HP Ice, because like a switch out into Metagross could be fairly obvious. So I just stay in. I didn't need to make a prediction in my eyes, or preserve a Garchomp in my eyes, so that's why I just stayed in, get a little bit more of life up damage off on him. Here I go Drapion, because I thought knockoff kills this, and 2 knockoffs potentially kill Salamence, but at least I will knock off an item, and that could be really nice, because that would either mean I knock off the Choice Scarf, and I know it was Choice Scarf, or I knock off potentially a Lumberry, and then Thunders can Thunder Wave it. So here he goes for damage. I'm Assault Vest. I get paralyzed, but luckily I do break through. I kill this Manectric off, and now it's Salamence against the world. I know most likely he's just going to go for Dragon Dance up, and that's why I have the Metagross in the back. It's Sucker Berry, can deal with any variant of Salamence, even Fire Fan, Fire Blast. I could also take that a bit less, but I could still take it, I believe. And Earthquake made more sense. I go for Ice Punch and I kill him. So that was a really good game. It was a bit unfortunate at the beginning with Mega Heracross versus Clefable, but other than that, it was quite a nice match. I think it really showed the potential Mega Heracross can do, and yeah, it was a really scary matchup, because that Heatran, Salamence, Manectric combo really had me on the ropes, especially prep wise, but I think we pulled through quite nicely. We're currently sitting at 2-1 with quite a nice differential, I think +5, I believe. So we're sitting in the spot for players currently, but we will have to win a couple of more, a lot more even, to secure a player spot, and we will hopefully do that. And next week we will have a break week. I think potentially we will just have an upload against one of the minor coaches. We will most likely playing against Johnny, so I hope you look forward to that one. And then the week after we will resume with week 4 against one of our main admin, and that's Garrett. So see you guys later.